Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to my channel. I'm Charlene. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Okay, so I just got finished watching Real Housewives of Potomac season, I think it's 4, the latest episode they got out. And I was just cackling up a storm, okay? This whole episode had me dying laughing. So the scene opened up from the argument that Ashley and Candace was having from last episode. And, you know, the saga was just continuing with all the theatrics and all the extraness that Candace was doing. You know, Candace, she's kind of working her way down to being one of my least favorites on Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, all that crying and yelling and Chris having to pull her back, and it's just like, girl, relax. Like, stand there, hold yourself together, and have a word fight. You know what I'm saying? If you felt like, you know, Ashley was coming at you and saying, oh, this is your mom's house, your mom takes care of you, blah, 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 then you should have came back at her mom. Well, at least my mom ain't a bum-ass bitch and can pay my fucking bills. Your mom's a fucking bum. Like, you had to go suck dick. You had to go suck somebody off to get your bills paid. At least my mama, you know what I'm saying? Like, shoot back. Like, there was plenty of ammo you could have used. But Candace is crying and hollering and hoopling and standing up and getting on tables. It's like, girl, relax. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you lose an argument. But Ashley had me dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ashley was just going at Candace, and she was not letting Candace get anything through, okay? So, like I said, Candace was all being dramatic, so Chris had pulled Candace to the side away from the table. So once Candace was away from the table, Giselle takes this as an opportunity to say to Robin, hey, you should tell Ashley while we're, you know, getting everything out on the table, you should tell Ashley what, you know, you and Monique were talking about the other day. So you could tell Robin didn't want to do it, but she did. So she was just like, so basically, you know, at the party, you know, I heard that Michael, you know, wanted to suck somebody's dick or something like that. I don't really know. And of course, you know, Ashley's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. And Robin's like, I'm sorry. Like, I, you know, heard you say that. And, you know, Ashley had a good point. She was just like, you know, Candace was so drunk, she passed out in the parking lot. Robin was so drunk that she had to catch an Uber home. Like, y'all bitches was twisted. But it's kind of like, come on now, you know, 3 people heard it. And, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, all she had to really say was, I don't think that happened. I don't remember that. Like, I don't remember that at all. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, of course, when Candace walked back into the dining room, of course, she starts going in because that's what they're talking about. You know, Ashley's husband, Michael, saying he wanted to suck somebody's dick, one of their husbands' dick at that. And, of course, Monique, I mean, I'm sorry, not Monique. Of course, Candace starts to go in, and she's like, your husband, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, she had told Ashley to get the fuck out once again. She told Ashley to get out of her house like at least 6 times. Like, Ashley just kept leaving and coming back, leaving and coming back. It was so hilarious. But it was so funny. Like, I was cackling when Candace was like, she was like, don't check me in my house. She was like, if we're at your kangaroo restaurant, I was dying laughing. I said, girl, it's Australian food, girl. It is not. She said, don't check me. Check me. If we're in your kangaroo restaurant, you can check me. And I feel her on that. You know what I'm saying? But Candace took that as an opportunity to just go in on Ashley. So, of course, Ashley's defending herself. She leaves the house, comes back in the house, and she basically was like, you know, I'm going to address Robin, this is not true, blah, blah, blah. And then Karen, of course, was chiming in, and Ashley looked at Karen and was like, girl, can you shut up, mind your business, like, let me talk. Like, that was hilarious. And it was so funny, like, the camera had panned, and you could see that Monique was laughing when Ashley was pissed, and she was like, Karen, just shut the fuck up. You know, you could tell Monique was dying laughing off of that. Child, the whole episode was crazy, okay? And Katie, I live for Katie. Katie was at the dining room table looking so confused and just, she just was looking so unbothered. I live for Katie. I love Katie. So, of course, Ashley gets put out for the umpteenth goddamn time. And so they finally leave, and it was so funny. Candace's husband was making the, the dish. It was like scallop risotto and all this fine cuisine. And then when Ashley and Katie left, Katie was like, "You want to get McDonald's?" And Ashley was like, "Yeah, let's get McDonald's." So like while the ladies are eating this nice ass high class meal, them bitches going to McDonald's. So it was so funny when Candace and not Candace, when Ashley and Katie was in the truck going home because they left the party early. It was so funny. Katie was on her phone. She was like, "I mean, is he gay?" And she was like, Ashley was like, "No." She was like, she was like, "But did he say, he wanted to suck somebody's dick?" Ashley was like, "No." Like, it was so funny. She was like, "It's fine. If he does, like, who cares?" Like, it low-key seemed like Katie was low-key with that shit. Like, if my boyfriend wanted to suck dick, who cared? Like, she was like, what's the big deal? Katie is just so funny. But hold on, wait. Before Katie and Ashley even left the party, Monique had pulled Katie aside and was just like, I want to clear up this whole slave comment that Ashley said, that Monique said I said. I'm trying to clear it up. And Katie straight was like, "Dude, the reason why I wrap my hair is because I don't have air conditioning." I said, "Katie." She was like, "Can I just do my own hair?" Like, she was dead serious. I said, "Not in Potomac." Child, her ass probably live in PG somewhere. Girl, I was no more good. But anyway, so it pans back to the dinner after Ashley and Katie left. And, they were just talking about it. Karen was chiming in, and of course Candace gets to crying, saying, "You don't go after my mom, like, you don't do that, like, you don't do that." Like, Candace, girl, you are so immature. Like, ugh, like her whole existence was just irritating me. But anyway, so after that, the next scene, after the whole argument, which was crazy, Ashley's all in her apartment burning sage and talking about how she's just so, like, Michael was so upset and she just doesn't know if she can be friends with the girls anymore, and she's so upset with Robin, and Robin ain't her real friend because Robin didn't come and tell her, that she heard Michael say that, apparently. And my whole thing is, it's like, Ashley, like, use your brain, like, expand your brain. Robin never said anything. Robin thought she heard Michael say that, but really, Robin never said anything to anybody. It wasn't until Robin, Giselle, and Candace were all having a conversation, and Candace, being messy, was like, "Oh, I heard it." Candace didn't know that Robin knew what Michael said because they had never talked about it. Robin was like, she knew she was kind of drunk. She knew, she wasn't really in her right mind, but she never said anything. And Candace didn't know that. So Candace took it upon herself to bring it up in front of the group. And that's when Robin was like, "Whoa, damn, that's crazy. I remember that." You know what I mean? So it's like, Ashley, maybe in hindsight, she probably sees that now. I don't know if she saw that, like, I guess while they were filming. But Ashley, like, Robin was the one who brought it up. So I don't know, she's like, "I don't know if we can be friends. I don't know about, whatever. Like, really, she wasn't the one who brought it up. It was really Candace who brought it up. Robin just confirmed it. Robin would have never had said anything if it wasn't for Candace. So the next scene goes to Monique and her husband, who I love them or whatever, and they're doing like a little workout. Monique's pregnant, big old stomach. So Monique starts to break down to her husband, what happened at the dinner. So Monique's like, yeah, like, it came out that, Michael said that he wanted to suck one of the husband's dick. And Chris was like, "What? Like, that's crazy." Like, he was like, "Well, I know he wasn't talking about me." And Monique was like, "How do you know he wasn't talking about you?" And that's true. Like, Chris, like, you don't know who he was talking to. He might have wanted to suck that big old sausage. And Candace, not Candace, Monique confirmed it when Monique was like, "Oh no, he probably wasn't talking about you because that would be a mouthful. That would be too much for him." I was like, "Oh yes, girl, you go ahead and spill the beans on the load that your husband is packing. He looked like he packing." But I was dying laughing when Chris was like, "Oh no, he probably was talking about Ray." And then the scene panned to a clip when Michael was like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to go talk to Ray and make up with Ray. I was gonna smack his butt, but I didn't." I was dying laughing. Chris was like, "Nah, I ain't gonna do my homeboy Ray like that. That's my homeboy. I ain't gonna do him like that." I was just dying. Like, this whole episode, I was crying laughing. Like, this whole episode had me kikiing. So the scene after that, it goes to I think Ashley and Giselle talking, and Ashley talking about how Michael's so this, and Michael doesn't want her to hang out with him anymore, blah blah blah. But it's just like, if he didn't say it, why are you so upset? Like, just let it go. So then, Ashley obviously is prepping to perform her, gay pride song at gay pride. I ain't never heard, the damn song, and I never even knew she was a musician, but that's a whole nother thing. So Monique and Monique's mom, I'm sorry, not Monique, I always get Monique and Candace mixed up. Monique and Candace are just, I don't know, like, they're just so interchangeable to me. But anyway, so when Candace and her mom went to therapy, it was really sad to like see how Candace's mom was just cutting her off and talking over her and being rude. But when Candace's mom said that she pays $4,000 a month for Candace's and her husband's bills, that's $50,000 a year, and that's $50,000 a year with no taxes. If she's paying those bills, she's paying that outright. That's $50,000 a year. And it low-key kind of got me tight, because it's like, Candace, like, you can break away from your mom. You are married now. All you got to do is, really to survive is you at least need to make $50,000 a year. He needs to at least be making $50,000 a year. If your bills are $50,000 a year, your bills alone, all you really need is for you to have one job that's, $50,000 a year. And Chris, I think his name is Chris too. Your husband can have a job, making $50,000 a year. You can use your income for the bills. He can use his income for, just life and the expenses. But that's a lot of money, Candace. And I did kind of feel like the therapist was kind of like biased a little bit. I felt like because the therapist wasn't really asking like, her mom's state of view. Like, you can kind of tell that the show was Candace's show, and that Candace was the one that really wanted to have the meeting, and I do kind of see how it could kind of be irritating to the doctor, because before Candace's mom could even get the therapy session started, she's like, I just want to let you know I'm a doctor too, like, I'm a therapist too. You know what I'm saying? So that probably irritated the doctor as well, but it did seem like the doctor was kind of more swayed to Candace's side and wasn't really asking her mom too much about how her mom felt and things like that. But, Candace, I will say, if your mother is paying $50,000 a year of your expenses, $4,000 a month, you're going to have to deal with however the fuck she wants to handle you. And at the end of the day, if I was paying $4,000 a month of somebody's expenses, I would be on their fucking asses too. Now, I don't know about, downing them and talking to them like they ain't shit, but I would be on their ass too. What is your husband doing? What is your wife doing if it was a situation vice versa? If I was taking care of, or one of my little brothers and sisters, just for instance, whatever, I would be on your ass too. What are you doing? How are you being productive? Like, what is your plans? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with the way Candace's mom talks to her, but what I will say is, Candace, she has every right to be all up in your ass about whatever, because that's a lot of money. And that's how you know that mom is making guap. If she can afford to, and she got more than just Candace. She got more kids. It's not just Candace. So if she's doing that for Candace, and Candace is grown, I think Candace has a younger sister. So the mom's probably, helping her. So I'm like, yes, Candace mom, you making money. But yeah, like, that session was a little wild, but I don't know. So the final scene, at least that I remember, was Giselle and Giselle's homeboy and Robin in the party bus heading down to Virginia to watch Ashley perform for Gay Pride. Now, on the way down there, I was again crying laughing, because the scene started and Robin was playing, Ashley's song, and was bopping to it, and Giselle's homeboy was like, Robin, stop acting like you know the words. I was dying laughing, because she probably didn't. That was probably the first time she heard the song like the rest of us. And, they were just talking about, Michael, of course, wanting to suck dick. And Giselle's homeboy was like, oh, was he talking about me? Because I wouldn't mind that. It was a cute, funny scene. So they finally get down there, and, Ashley comes out on stage with her hype man or her little brother or whoever that was on stage with her. It was horrible. The performance was horrible. Her outfit was horrible. Them boots was horrible. Everything about that was horrible. You know what I'm saying? But if the people at Gay Pride Virginia like it, I love it, okay? And Giselle talk about some, oh, you Beyonce. Oh, Ashley's Beyonce, blah, blah, blah. Like, girl, Giselle was joking. So yeah, that was pretty much the scene or whatever. I don't even really remember how it really ended. I mean, it might have ended like that. But I guess we just gonna have to see what's gonna pop off next week, because next week seems like shit about to go down when Michael wanna suck dick. I think Michael is a little, will suck a dick, I think he would. And I thought it was funny when Giselle was like, what Giselle said? Giselle was like, Ashley has a song about her husband. No, I think it is Ashley's brother who she made a song with, because Giselle said Ashley made a song with her brother about her relationship with Michael, a man who wants to suck dick. And then there was one scene where Giselle was like, I mean, if Michael wants to suck her dick or two, let him. Like, I think Michael does like to suck dick on the weekends, and I do think, on the holidays and things, of that nature, I do think, he doesn't mind putting a ding-a-ling in his mouth. But next episode, we're definitely going to get into all of that. So I will get at y'all next week when I see the episode. And until next time, later.